Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and if you are brand new here, welcome. I'm Bonnie, Old Soul Mermaid, and today we have an unboxing of the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. Now, this is a deck. One of my goals in 2021 is maybe to get some decks in my collection so that I can make sure that for whoever I read for, whatever situation, the person I'm reading for can see themselves in the tarot deck. And there are some elements of that are missing in my collection, so you'll see what I mean. This is one of 3 decks that I recently purchased for that purpose, one of which I haven't received in the mail yet, but this is one of them, and we're going to start with this. Now, Charlie Claire Burgess is a queer, non-binary tarot practitioner. She goes by the pronouns they and them, I believe, and she has a podcast. The name escapes me right now. She's an artist, a witch, she's everything. So this is how the deck comes. It came in a small mailing box, and she does say on her website that it would not come wrapped in plastic or the cards within. So it literally, I just lifted it out of the box, the mailing box, like this. So I love getting craft paper. Use it for mixed media projects. And as we can see, we're going to zoom in just a little bit more, a little bit closer. This is a hard piece, 2-piece box. It's very nice, very sturdy, and it does have the thumb cutouts so that you can easily split, take apart the box. This is a first edition. And if you're interested, there is the website information if you like this deck. And on the back, it says a queer, inclusive deck for a world beyond binaries. So I don't really have anything like this. And I think there are other decks maybe that fit this niche as well. But I was attracted to this one, and actually I heard kind of a review of it on the Wildly Tarot podcast. So look at, I'm drawn to this artwork, and that's probably why I chose this deck. Now, there is a little white book, but I didn't get it because of funds. Like I said, I ordered another deck, which was a little bit pricey. But yeah, I think I may get the art book. I think there's a little bit more explanation about the art and the process, and maybe about the cards themselves, but the companion book is an extra $16. I was hoping that there would be maybe a link for a PDF book, but there's not. But it does come with this little white book. This was a Kickstarter deck. And so we will go over the book in just a minute, because I know you want to see the cards. So nothing fancy in the box, but the outer box is beautiful. This is a gorgeous linen cardstock, and look at the nice muted brown neutral backs. It's fantastic, and this is the cardstock that I love. A nice linen, it can't be beat. Now we're going to flip them over. There's something, I'm very, very attracted to this neutral background, and I don't know which is going to post first, but I recently did an unboxing of another deck that had, it's this beige, but that deck had a more tea-stained distress look because it's an old art deck, but I'm very, very drawn to the neutral backs. And this is a very modern deck. So that is the cool Fool. And from my understanding, this does follow the RWS system. We'll see how closely, but it is very, very modern. And I can already see with these people, these are people that you see out in the world. In my world, in where I grew up. I love this Empress. What I see today, I thought the Emperor was very intriguing. So why can't the Emperor, you know, you have the traditional symbolism, but you also have, you know, he has a beard, but he also has breasts. And I think that it's very on the point of being inclusive, and also pointing that it doesn't matter what you identify with as far as your sexuality. We have both. Even if you're a cis male, cis female, we have elements of both in us, male and female traits. The Hierophant, the Lovers, the Chariot. Now you can look at this deck, and I love the pup here. You can look at this deck, and maybe some of you, if you have the Modern Witch or This Might Hurt deck, you know, it's a little bit more, you know, modern and inclusive in that vein, but I think this one goes a step further. Definitely in showing people that you see in everyday life. Now, and I love this Death card, really showing the cycle of life here. The transformation that you go through in life. You know, and to me, it's like I was, in my memory, being at this stage of life was so long ago, and then at the same time like yesterday, and I'm heading closer to this, and someday it'll be this. I hope not for a long time yet, but when I was aware of this deck, I wasn't aware during the Kickstarter because I was laying off Kickstarter. This devil is creepy. It's kind of being enslaved in roles, in traditional roles. The traditional cis male, you know, businessman, breadwinner, his trophy wife. So it's not only, you know, the enslavement isn't only from addictions. It's kind of where you've allowed yourself to stay stuck in life and not seeing beyond and what's possible. And these people may not be, they're in this predicament because they're not being true to themselves. The Tower. Yeah, so now I forgot what I was saying, but yes, I do think this, not a perfect body, but a real body, isn't it? It's real. The Moon. I think this moon is gorgeous. So yeah, I was doing a self-imposed ban on Kickstarter, so I missed the campaign for this. I love this. And I love this Judgment card. And so I was made aware of it, and I knew I had to have it. Now this is a pippish deck, but again, it reminds me of the illustrations or how the Pagan Otherworld is illustrated. So the wands, they are different wands. So you'll get a candlestick, a match. I love how the ace is a cigarette or a lighter. And different forms of fire, or the element of fire. So it is a pip deck, but it's illustrated. It gives you a little hint, kind of the way the Pagan Otherworlds does, a deck which I love. And you can get all that you need. And I think this would be a great deck to segue into reading with pips if it's something you're interested in and, you know, kind of hesitant about. But really, the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Wands, the fireworks, they're going to be shooting off in great speed. And look at the 10. I love this. I love that this is people I see in my community. It does veer, again, a little bit more on the young, youthful side, but that's okay. Except, oh, I stand corrected right here. She looks more like my age, the Queen of Wands. So I'm happy to see that. The King of Wands. This reminds me a little bit of Les Mis with the flag and the long trench coat and the torch. Sorry, it just does. The Suit of Cups. I like this Two of Cups. It's kind of like, ooh, with the little ladybugs. I love ladybugs with the kind of Celtic. Is this like a Celtic knot? It looks to me like it is. This Three of Cups. Okay, traditionally we see in a depiction of three friends, three women or three men, having a grand old time, usually with drinks in their hand. But this Three of Cups here, you can see there's a congregation of friends, a social gathering with cups. Look at the lipstick on that cup, the cookies, the biscuits, if you're British. There's a braid. This kind of looks like a Heidi braid, you know, with the pigtails. It's fantastic. The Four of Cups. So you just don't get cups. It kind of switches it up with vessels and different kind of vessels or cups and mugs. 6, like the soda can. That's me. I'm a Coke Zero addict. This is beautiful. The 7. The 8 of Cups. Look at this. Leaving a home. Leaving what's familiar. Do you see the leaky roof? These, I don't know if you can see it, but there's water drops leaking, and these pots are here to catch the water. Leaving it. Leaving the leaky roof. The roof did not leak at one time, but now it is, and it's time to move on. The 9 of Cups. Trophies. And the 10. I love it. Look at the baby bottle and the nipple. This is kind of like a sippy cup. Fun straw. Fantastic. The Page of Cups. You still have the fish. So this, yes, follows the traditional RWS. I think if you're a newbie, you can totally read with this. I think it ticks almost all the boxes where you could read with this deck with someone and see yourself seen. Mr. Rogers, the epitome of the King of Cups, right? Now, he is the one famous person depicted here. For some, it may interrupt the flow of the deck because he is so easily recognizable. And to my knowledge, and I didn't recognize any of the other people depicted so far, but we're not done. I love Mr. Rogers. I watched him since I was a tot. I'm 53 years old, and I remember watching him when I was maybe 3-4 years old and on. I think my grandmother was secretly in love with Mr. Rogers. My grandfather was an ogre, so yeah, I think she was drawn to his kindness, and when I went over her house, Mr. Rogers was it. Here are the swords, the Ace of Swords, the 2 of Swords. So again, the closed eye. Instead of a blindfold, you get the crossed swords, so you get all that you need. I like this 3 of Swords, needles. And you see a heart that's damaged, but it looks like it's going to be stitched up. This is a cicada for the 4 of Swords. So this, I really, really love that the suits, even though it's a pip, these are pips, they're illustrated and they change. It's not all one thing. Like, for instance, I did oh, I like the magpie. Oh, I love this. I did an unboxing of the Mass Market Elemental Tarot, and those are pips, what I call lazy pips. You know, I like these kind of pips. But that saying, I do want to learn to read with Marseille, so that's a goal for this year. Look at this, scissors depicted in the suit of swords, different building work tools in the 9. This one is a little bit jarring, but look, it's showing the egg, something soon to be born, something has died, so you're not done. Legacy, Page of Swords, Knight of Swords, what I see in downtown Austin, around the UT campus, youth, vitality, students rushing around. Well, not too much this year, but you know what I mean. The fantastic Queen of Swords, the King of Swords. So why can't you have a female king? And I'm looking just from her outward exterior, it seems like she's identifying with, you know, more female energy, but, you know, I don't know. The Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. And you see the kind of steps for growth. You get the trowel that you need to dig with. You get the seed and then the little bud of sprout there. The 3. The 4 of Pentacles with all these deep roots. I love it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Can you read with this deck? What do you think about pip decks or decks that are like this, that are what I called more illustrated pips without people in it? So illustrated pips. The 6, donation box. 7, you know, you can get a traditional, yeah, you can just, this will take you immediately to, if you're learning the tarot, to the RWS 7. It's just missing the person, basically. The 8 of Pentacles, the tools of a master. This reminds me of one of the cards in the Way Home Tarot by Baccara Wintour. I love it. Beautiful home. 10 of Pentacles. This page with a levitating sprout. An idea. Beginning of something. The Knight of Pentacles. Yes, I would say that this deck, and look at this, for the Queen of Pentacles. I would say this does go a step further than the Everyday Witch, than This Might Hurt. I am in awe of this deck. So just really quick, we'll just see what you get with the book. Fifth Spirit Tarot is dedicated to the queers, the outsiders, the survivors, and everyone making magic from the margins. But I don't think you have to be queer or an outsider or on the margins to appreciate this deck. I think it's for everybody. So there's an introduction, Tarot for the World Beyond Binaries. She says the tarot is a 600-year-old invention created as a playing card game in Italy around 1420. As you might imagine, things were pretty gendered back then, as tarot evolved into a divination tool between then and the late 1700s. Things were still pretty gendered, as it flourished and grew in magical communities between then and 1909, when the landmark Smith-Waite, then called Rider-Waite, deck was born. Things were still, you guessed it, pretty gendered. In short, the tarot has been mired in binary and biological notions of gender since inception, while transgender and genderqueer people have existed for literally as long as humans have. We're only now beginning to be included in the system we've used for so long. So there's a little bit about reading the cards, selecting a spread, interpreting the cards. So she does have simple spreads for general guidance is the first one, a 3-card spread, and she gives you some examples. She talks about the system of tarot, the elements, and you just get, oh, you do get something about the court cards, but then just a little paragraph about each. You don't get like keywords or reversal meanings or keywords. You do get the element and astrological correspondence. It is literally a little white book, and a thanks and a little bit about the artist, Charlie Claire Burgess. They, them is a queer and non-binary tarot practitioner, tarot teacher, artist, writer, and witch. They host the Word Witch podcast, which explores tarot from a queer and inclusive perspective. I wasn't aware of that. So something to explore. And they've written a 2-volume zine on the same topic. They teach and read tarot in Portland, Oregon, and online. Fifth Spirit is their first deck. Before they started, Charlie didn't know they could draw. Holy crap. This is some of her information here if you want to explore the artist, which I will. Oh my gosh. Fantastic. What you can do when you put your mind to it. I wish drawing was a skill that I had, but you know, maybe I just gotta put my nose to the grindstone. I am, you know, playing with mixed media art, so that's what I can do for now. But these shuffle like a dream. Let's, I'm gonna go up just a little bit higher. So you normal riffle shufflers, this is fantastic cardstock. This deck is beautiful. It's another one that is giving me all the feels. I could see that some of my son's college friends would be all over this deck. And I think that's one of the reasons why I got it. Just doing a quick shuffle. And I'm going to move some things out of the way so you can see how these cards look laid out together. Oh, I didn't shuffle too well. I should have kept shuffling. But you get the idea, right? Look at how fantastic these are. Oh, you guys, let me know in the comments what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Do you think a deck like this has a place in your collection? It runs about the same cost as a normal, I think it was $52, I want to say, and the shipping was very economical. It was somewhere between $4 and $6. I can't I can't remember. And like I said, there is a larger companion book for $16, which I think I will get, definitely get. But you can read this deck right off the bat. If you're a beginner and you are drawn to this deck, definitely get it, because you can read with this. If you have just nominal knowledge of the RWS, if you've been working a little bit with, you know, maybe the traditional RWS deck, Pamela Coleman Smith's art, you already know you can do this, definitely. So you don't have to wait. Don't let the pips scare you. They are drawn well enough that you can get everything you need to read. Fantastic, beautiful, lovely. Yeah. So I'm going to put the deck together. We're going to see what my relationship to the deck is. I'm excited to see. So what is my relationship going to be with the 5th Spirit Tarot deck? What is my relationship going to be with the 5th Spirit Tarot deck? Trying not to hit my phone, you guys. What is my relationship to the 5th Spirit Tarot deck going to be? Oh, wow. Let's zoom on in here. The Knight of Swords. That is very, very interesting. I think I've set some goals for 2021, and a lot of them have to do with studying, you know, Marseille, with going over decks that are requiring me to approach it in a more academic manner, with reading books. And I think this is, I want to branch out. I want to grow as far as my tarot and metaphysical studies. I'm still very much looking for which way my spiritual practice is going to go. So I'm seeking intellectual understanding and clarity and truth. And you know, I'm someone, as a Pisces, I always let my heart lead. I am trying to let my head get in there, and so I have a more balanced perspective. I'm ruled by my emotions. So yeah, this is totally appropriate. So yay! Thumbs up. So that concludes my walkthrough, unboxing, first impressions of the 5th Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess. Let me know in the comments what you think. I will leave a link in the description box. This deck is available right now. Let me know, are you getting the feels I'm getting? Is it coming through my phone okay? Let me know your thoughts, and with that, I will leave you. I hope you are having a wonderful day. Until next time, bye for now.